Howdy, howdy, everyone. It's that time again.
That time where we're taking a week off, and so we're putting an extra one of these out just so we can use our time more efficiently and spread out video uploads. What?
Well, I guess if you gotta be blunt about it, yeah, sure.
Right! So, you know what we're about. We're the Bittersweet Gamers.
I'm We Square.
I'm the Opinionator. Let's
Rolls
roll.
determine our fate. 7.
Wow, we finally got somebody where we're going to have to count all the way down. I bet it'll be another guy because we get every guy every time.
Well, we'll eventually run out. As always, no. 1. 2. 3. Nope. 4. 5. 6. 7. Yes! It's time for my favorite one!
Well, Billy, are you happy?
I'm so happy right now.
We finally get Stab Waifu.
Yay!
Just for you. We've already done a couple of Tokos, so I guess we'll finish up Jill's too.
I know, don't be so shocked. Oh God!
It's been a while, hasn't it? Don't you just love the look on her face?
Kind of.
You are such a freak. Not for liking it, it's the way you talk like that, it just...
This may be a little stereotypical, but have some glasses. Sorry, but I'm already engaged to Master.
He might not feel the same.
So I can't go on a date with you. If you're okay with that, I don't mind if you think about me.
You know, she probably would really enjoy a complicated situation like this.
Yes, she probably would. I'm sure many of those have sprung up in her books.
I thought Toko totally hated me.
I do.
That's good. That's good. It's good to not be too wrong about these things. No, it's not like she's going out of her way to avoid me. Still, we're not actually talking either. Hey, Toko.
What? You have a question? You have a question for your classmate?
Are you happy about this? So, I kind of asked before, but what do you like to do in your spare time?
Oh, I'll tell you.
No!
I just write. I'm serialized, so I'm always really busy.
Wow, you're serialized? What are you serialized in? No, you'll tell me the answer. Some
Killing.
porn magazine.
And when I'm not writing, I'm studying. I'm not an idiot like you.
Huh, how interesting.
Damn it! I had to go and open my big mouth again.
So she pays attention to her academics and is actually generally responsible about her writing career. And did you say something about killing before?
You must hate me for sure now, right?
Why? For pointing out that you're responsible? No, why would I be bothered by that? I can't believe you actually write novels and that people all over the world read your smut. No!
Read the line, David.
So, how do you get your ideas for what you write? Like real life experience? Or
Are you stupid?
very possibly so, yes.
I told you, didn't I? I write romance novels. How could I use my real-life experiences for that?
Good point. You have no social skills, no interpersonal skills, and no charisma. So
It's all from my imagination. It's just delusion.
delusions. Now, by that, do you mean you're accepting that you're delusional and crazy, or that you think that romance itself is delusional?
Yes.
Huh.
Delusions let you fall in love as much as you want, even if you never do in real life.
What an interesting way of looking at things.
Or are you saying you can't write romance unless you already have lots of experience in love?
Well, you know, I bet it's easier to write romance when you don't have much experience. Because then you don't know what it's really like. So you can focus more on the romantic aspect of it.
Yeah.
The idealized version. No, I'm sorry I argued with you.
It's okay. I'm used to people making fun of me.
I mean, literally nobody's doing that.
But someday I'll show them. I'll get pretty someday and show them all.
One day you'll grow up and be pretty, and then they'll all envy the amount of love you get. Boiling over like magma, Toko stormed off. This time I'm sure she hates me, but she hates everyone, so... Everything I write about is an utter delusion, of course. I'm aware that maybe I went too far. What's this? Self-awareness?
No!
Toko?
I'll never admit it.
But she did! That was the whole point!
I can't forgive this. I'll never forgive you for being this nice to me.
You wanna fight about this?
Baka!
I'll beat you down by being nice!
Hey, I want to talk to you.
Goosebumps have gone up and down my arms, and this terror has kind of sunk in the pit of my stomach. I've broken out into a cold sweat. Toko never wants to talk to me. What are you gonna do to me?
Are you listening to me?
I have to listen to you. If I don't listen to you, then I'll be too open for your upcoming attack. Yes, I'm listening.
I just wanted to clear something up. I mean, I have to clear it up. What I said before, I don't want you to get the wrong idea, okay?
I'm not wearing a collar for you! I mean, what did you say?
About not having any love in real life. I don't want you thinking I don't have any experience at all.
Is he still alive?
Even someone like me has gone on a date.
Oh, okay.
It's true, I'm not lying. I'll tell you all about it if you really want to hear.
I'm very curious. But,
I was in junior high, and out of nowhere, this guy from another class just asked me out.
Okay, well, even though for some reason I said you didn't have to tell me, it looks like I'm gonna listen, but I don't really know why I said no in the first place, which is why I didn't read that line.
He asked me to make plans for the date.
Oh, God.
I stayed up all night for 3 days planning it, and what I came up with was... It was our first date, so I wanted to do something traditional. I decided on going to see something.
Is he the inspiration for all the villains that have shown up in your novels? What did you go see?
Are you stupid? When you're talking to traditional date stuff, what do you think it was?
On a traditional date, you normally go see a movie. And I was wondering if it was not going to be that.
Because of Toko?
But it would have depended on what else would have been there, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, so a movie then.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? You go watch it, and afterward talk about it all passionately.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
In other words, it's ideal first date material.
It can be, yeah. You stayed up for 3 days, and that's what you came up with?
You're judging me in your mind,
Look,
aren't you?
Anybody could just have come up with that as their first instinct, but,
Next, I had to decide what to go see. Since we were in junior high, we couldn't go see some kids movie, right?
On a date? Well, I mean, I guess it depends on the guy who asked you out. This is maybe the part you spent 3 days on, or did it take you another 3 days to come up with this?
I wanted something really action-packed.
Oh, so you're really being nice to this guy by giving him something, like, kind of easy. Yeah, a guy would definitely like that kind of thing, and it could get you both pumped up.
Oh, I was pumped up, all right. So we decided to check out a Seijun Suzuki triple feature.
I bet that's really funny. It's just that Oh.
Tokyo Drifter, Fighting Elegy,
I'll forgive you, Billy.
and Branded to Kill. Irresistible for any guy, right?
I mean, I'd I don't know. I don't know who Seijun Suzuki is. Sometimes I know these things. This isn't one of those times, however.
You don't know who Seijun Suzuki is?
I really haven't seen very many Japanese movies. I've seen a few, but not that many. Mostly they're just like, like period stuff that I've seen. Come to think of it, now that I think about it, I guess I've actually seen more Korean movies than I have Japanese movies, which is really kind of weird, isn't it?
Maybe not.
変ですよね。俺はそう思うけど。
He's world famous for his one-of-a-kind aesthetic, his unique blending of color.
Oh, yeah? Sorry?
The killer's the main character, and he gets riled up by the smell of cooking rice. A murder masterpiece.
Oh, many things become clear now. I think there's probably not a lot of guys my age who have any idea who he is, but I'll just take the line straight, It's like a creepy art house guy.
You're right. I learned that fact the hard way.
The interesting thing was that she found a movie theater showing these movies.
He must have hated it, because he disappeared right in the middle of the first movie.
He just left? And after you'd put all that effort into planning everything out? That's sane. Awful. Awful.
Well, it is what it is. Besides, I found out it was just a dare anyway.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, he lost a bet with his friends, so he had to go out on a date with me.
That's genuinely terrible.
And there I was, spending 3 days to come up with something for us to do.
So he
wouldn't even bother to put any effort in on it.
I really do feel sorry for her about this. This is really sad and very relatable, I guess. Like, it's easy to understand what this means, as opposed to, like, trying to become the strongest person in the world.
Right.
But I still have to ask, is he still alive?
After I came to, he was missing.
Weird.
This is all your fault. You made me remember that terrible trauma.
I wonder what happened to him. My fault? You're the one who forced it talking on me.
Do you like humiliating me that much? Is that how you get your kicks?
Yes, it is. I am going to humiliate you more, Toko!
Oh, smelly Makoto. I've finally seen the real you.
I can't win!
I can't be around you and your perverted fetish anymore.
Oi!
I'm leaving!
Eyes burning with the usual hatred, Toko glared at me before stomping off. Okay, seriously, now she's gotta hate me. And that's it?
Well, now... What? Really? And now we do Genocide Jill? That makes me really upset. She just got the shaft in this game.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Not the shaft I wanted.
Just like you said, Toko really did get shafted. Like, especially at the end of the game. Like, the stuff that really seemed like everybody got their moment.
But she just was all meh as Genocide Jill.
Even Yasuhiro got to be serious, but Jill was just like, I mean, Jill's hilarious, and her English voice actor, for instance, fantastic. But I'm not trying to, like, take a dump on funny things.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I would have wished that Toko would have gotten to come back for the end to actually have a moment.
Right.
She kind of ended up being, like, the least developed of the characters, it seemed like.
You want to spend time with me?
Well, I mean, maybe.
I don't know what you're planning, but do whatever you want. Okay?
I guess even though we got the achievement, we still have another one. I mean, there's no star, and she was still in Toko form, so... Form? What the heck am I saying? Yeah? I could feel Toko's silent pressure on me, stronger than ever.
Take responsibility.
For what? What do you mean, responsibility? Me? Why?
I've been trapped in here too long. There's nothing to do. The boredom's started killing me.
I don't mind doing something to entertain you and me at the same time, us, which is why I'm spending time with you. But it's not my fault, probably.
So I thought maybe I could write my next novel, the pinnacle of romance literature.
Yeah?
But I can't do it.
Why not?
I've got writer's block. My powers of delusion are in a complete slump.
You mean you're seeing things too much the way they are?
Yes. This has never happened before.
It's probably because you're locked in a school. Like, we can't verify anything to actually be true. Your inner serial killer has been released and is known to everybody, and we're trapped in a killing game. That may have something to do with why you're in this situation.
Just possibly.
What caused it?
All that stuff Damon said. You did when you opened up all those old wounds.
It's not my fault! You're blaming me!
I can't take it anymore. No more writing for me. I'm retiring.
Retiring? But that's such a waste! You're the ultimate writer!
No, I'm done. I was never all that good in the first place. And now I don't have the motivation or willpower anymore either.
Surprise, surprise, surprise. She doesn't have much of an ego.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem.
Though she clearly had the motivation and the willpower. It's like she's haunted by all those ghosts of her past.
That she's murdered.
Well, that's one way to look at it. When you're a high school student, things that happened just 2 years ago are extremely formative, and it's hard to move past them. Because you're young and in puberty and don't have enough experience.
Dealing with all that stuff.
Yeah, this is how you get experience dealing with things, is by dealing with things. So that means you have to have had something to deal with. Listen, Toko, why not take this opportunity to look back at why you started doing this in the first place?
Why I started?
Yeah, why you started writing at all. Reflect on that, and I'm sure it'll give you at least a little motivation.
It all started with a single love letter. When I was in elementary school, I fell in love for the first time.
Ah, memories.
He was a friend of mine. There weren't any feelings at first. He was the only boy I could talk to without getting hung up. But then he told me his family was moving to Shikoku. As soon as he said that, I could feel my chest start to tighten.
Come to think of it, didn't you play Dengeki Striker recently?
Yeah, yes, that's correct. At first I didn't even understand what I was feeling. It was a total mystery. But I was too embarrassed to tell him how I felt directly. So instead, I wrote him a love letter. It was 8 pages long.
And that's what started it, huh?
And then...
I don't know, this kind of makes me think about some elementary school stuff. I'm not gonna blather about my elementary school love life, alright? But this makes me think of it too. So, what happened next?
The next day, the day he left, I saw he'd hung the letter up on the school bulletin board.
So what you're telling me is that this kid is in some ways to blame for every one of Genocide Jill's victims?
Probably.
What?
I got to talk to him again later on.
Yeah?
Apparently, he hated the fact that I talked to him so much. All the other kids used to make fun of him for it.
No, Toko.
I guess that was his revenge, to show the world my letter right before running off.
What's interesting is all the other characters have mainly, not Byakuya, but all the other characters have mainly been kind of comical when it's come to these that we've seen so far. Well, okay, that's not true, but some of them have been. And Toko is a really comical character as well. We've actually been lamenting the fact that she doesn't get...
more serious stuff.
Yeah, and it seems like in her case, literally all of her serious moments are actually packed into these. I mean, we've kind of been laughing at her and laughing at Toko in general this whole time in this video, but like this is actually really sad. You know, it's not like my parents were killed in front of me type of sad. It's like this sort of everyday tragedy that is really easy for anybody to understand because everybody's had troubles like this. And
An introvert who's been betrayed by the one person she felt she could open up to.
Exactly that. Like, she was always awkward, so everybody around hated her, and that's what turned her into this, especially because every time she had any movement in the direction of being friends with somebody...
It got thrown back in her face.
Like, hard. And
like, just complete rejection.
No wonder she became so dark and, well, frankly, evil. This is the most miserable first love story I've ever heard.
But one of the teachers read that letter, said I had a talent for writing. And that's what sparked my interest in writing.
Huh. How real world, right?
Yeah.
Especially for somebody like Toko. Like, all the other characters except for Mondo that we've gone all the way through so far have been pretty fantastical. But this could actually be a regular person story.
I'm sure when we get to the end.
Oh, yeah. Darn it! You're gonna let me say something sympathetic towards this person.
Yeah, I will.
So that's what happened, huh?
And I dug up that terrible memory. It's all your fault. All this trauma because you're the ultimate sounding board.
Huh.
It's all pointless. I'll never write another sublime love story ever again.
Well, then, why don't you try writing something besides romance stuff? What about, like, that Seijun Suzuki?
Oh. Huh?
What I mean is, why don't you just write about what you're actually feeling? Write from your evil, dark, twisted heart. It might
thus
help.
A new horror writer was born.
It might help you move on and become a more stable individual who doesn't have to worry about a serial killer breaking out.
You're saying I should take these feelings of anger and emptiness and turn them into a novel?
Yeah. Honestly, I think that would probably do you a lot of good.
That's not a bad idea. Fine, I'm gonna do it.
And then she actually gets, just like with Mondo, she actually gets like a serious send-off.
Right from the heart. I'm gonna do it.
Aho hoo he hoo yes. Aho hoo he hoo. And so much for the serious send-off, as it's going to be this horrible, twisted monstrosity of... Toko dragged her screeching laughter behind her as she ran off.
That mental image was just of her dragging something that was screeching behind her. Like she's dragging it off to kill it.
Ahu ho hoo hue. Well, she definitely seems, let's call it, motivated.
A body has been discovered!
Oi! Is that really a good thing? Toko, you are not going to tell me that on this same school mode day you started and finished a novel, are you?
She is the ultimate.
Dude, even Danielle Steele, who puts out a book like every 2 months or did in her heyday, I don't know, I've never read her stuff, but I know she did that.
Uh-huh.
Like every month or 2 months or something, and they're all like trashy romance novels, but they, made her a fortune.
Yeah.
How can she not be called the ultimate writer? But she couldn't do it in an afternoon!
Hey, Makoto, could you come to my room?
No! I'm afraid!
I want to show you something. I'll be waiting there.
That's not like her to just talk to someone so openly like that. Fortunately, she's probably not gonna murder me in all seriousness. Goodbye, cruel world. I quickly and with much trepidation in my heart made my way to Toko's room.
Oh my god!
Well, she's quite serious.
Thanks for coming.
You really got to bring a lot, didn't you? How did you transport all these books here?
Who knows? How did Sakura get all those punching, posts in her here, too?
Punching posts.
But don't get the wrong idea. I didn't ask you here for anything like that.
I'm not so sure I believe you, but...
If you lay a hand on me, I'll bite my own tongue off and choke on the blood till I'm dead.
Is that a promise? Trust me, I'm not gonna lay a hand on you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oi! Anyway, what's going on? You said you had something you wanted to show me?
I was hoping you would read this.
Hopefully you're gonna give me a chapter and not an entire. Oh my God! You did this in the afternoon. Toko handed me a massive stack of paper. I saw handwriting on the top sheet, the neat letters packed close together. Is this?
I took your advice and started writing. I wanted you to be the first one to read it.
I see that the words just started flowing and wouldn't stop. How remarkably considerate. Thanks, actually. This is like human interaction in a way that you don't typically get. Well, I started scanning the text. A few seconds later, I was still reading. The words kept flowing into my head. The scenery unfolding before my very eyes. It's like I'm reading an enjoyable book written by a good writer. What is this madness? Wow, this is good. This is really good, Toko. I don't know if I've ever read anything this good.
It's pretty good, right?
But it's really dark. Super dark. Reading it kind of makes me want to die.
You know what they call the type of writing where the author has directly experienced the subject matter? It's a kind of naturalistic style popular in Japan. Katai Tayama's Futon started it all.
Novels that use the author's own experiences. I'm pretty sure I learned about that at some point. I actually don't know. Is that
Can
what...
I pick it then?
I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's not I novel. It's not I don't know.
Well, then it's gotta be this.
But is that really what Bildungsroman is? I don't actually know the answer to that.
Oh.
Isn't that called a Bildungsroman, or however you say it? I've seen this word written before, but I've never known what it means.
Totally wrong. A Bildungsroman places an emphasis on the protagonist's process of self-formation and self-discovery.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was part of, like, where the word romance came from, but...
For example, Hermann Hesse's Beneath the Wheel, or Goethe's Wilhelm Meister's Apprenticeship.
Oh, I see.
Did you just sit in class memorizing the words, but with no idea what they meant? I bet you did.
I'm the ultimate normal guy?
But I'm sure you learned about the other type of novel. Okay, then it must be I novel, right?
Try I don't know. Darn it. You can't be serious.
Correct. I knew you'd eventually get it. Mine's still a work in progress, though. But as soon as it's finished...
You'll be arrested?
It's going to become a shocking masterpiece that'll change the face of the I novel forever.
I believe you. Knowing her, she might actually be right about that. It's definitely some dark, heavy stuff, but it's the kind of thing you just can't put down. It will be, in a certain meaning of the phrase, masterpiece. I have no doubt about that.
Ooh, I like the master in that. And it's all thanks to you, Makoto.
Is my reward my death?
Your reward is being the first victim in the book. Thanks to you, I'm so embarrassed. Do you like how I called her giggle?
Yeah.
I'll express my appreciation in the form of a poem.
Poem?
On a locked and rusted door, I dug my nails in and dragged them down. Warm blood mixed with old rust, flowing down my wrist, coils like a snake, embracing my body. You watch me, a smile in your eyes. You watch. Time runs away, and you with it. You leave me drowning in a red sea. Well, now do you understand how I feel?
Help me! God. I hope not. But if it makes her happy, that's all that matters. Toko's the one who tries to hide the serial killer, not be the serial killer. Can I say that because I've finally started to understand her, even if only a little bit? Thank God, only a little bit.
So, that's it for now. Get out. You've helped me find my motivation. Now I have to do my best to bring the story to an end. And when there's someone there to support me for that, that's what you call a friend, right?
Other than the pronunciation, yeah, you're right. Freund. I never imagined I'd hear Toko say that word. But yeah, Toko and I have finally become true friends.
Now get out before you decide to lunge for me after all.
Okay.
Oh.
Toko kicked me out of a room, so now we moved on to get ready for Genocide Jill.
Yep. Here we go. You want me to kill you or something? You're not even close to getting me heated up.
Well, she doesn't sound as jolly crazy in Japanese as her English voice actor. The time I spent with the murderous fiend was almost valuable, as I got to walk away at the end.
There's value in that.
Did I just get a little closer to Genocide Jack?
I...
Take this! Apparently you like it.
A present out of nowhere!
Now I'm groping you.
I'm getting all flustered.
Oy. I get the impression that she liked it.
Hey, my cutie, listen up.
That's better than Big Mac. My cutie. Is that me?
Is it better? That means she finds you attractive.
I have assumed from the beginning that Makoto was going to be a potential target.
Something's building up, Stress, mainly.
Is that what they call it?
It's because I haven't gotten to kill anyone lately, so it's building up. It's packed in there tight.
It certainly sounded like she couldn't hold it in anymore and was way pervier in Japanese. So, why'd you pull out those scissors? Why?
Yes?
Why do you, kill people? You should really stop. I mean, it's just meaningless bloodshed, isn't it? Don't hurt me!
Meaningless? I know that, dumbass! I don't kill because it has meaning!
You and meaning do tend to radically oppose each other. So, why?
Let me ask you something, Mr. Smarty Pants. Why does a soccer player kick stuff? Why does a bookstore manager sell books? Because I get paid for it, apparently. You'd never ask them that, right? It's exactly the same with me!
No, I think it's completely different. That's even what I was going to say. That is completely different.
You got balls, trying to lecture the mighty morphin murderous fiend. Well, here's my response. Stab! It's easier to kill than to try not to.
Help! Also, why did I bother?
Yeah.
I sure hope somebody comes along soon.
Oh, hey, Makoto, how's it going? So about buying your organs.
Why me? Fine, you can have a kidney. Just get me out of here.
A present out of nowhere?
I feel very different on the inside. Like, things are not there that used to be. Do you know anything about this?
I'm very well familiar with people's insides.
I feel lightheaded.
I'm getting all flustered just talking about it.
What do you need kidneys for again? Can you tell me?
They're tasty.
Huh.
Hey, Maki-chan, what should we talk about today?
Did you call me Mackie-chan?
What's wrong? You don't want to talk to me?
I'm just trying to decipher your nicknames. Either that or I just got really hungry for a Big Mac.
Why do you think I called you that the first time?
Because you wanted to eat me? Look, I did want to ask you something. When did you take my kidney? I mean, when did you appear, or when were you born? Or when did you, you know...
The hell are you trying to say?
How did you end up with a split personality?
Who knows? I don't remember the how or why of it. Not everything's got a big dramatic backstory to it.
I think actually we might have gotten a big dramatic backstory with Toko, but how'd your tongue grow so long?
Maybe it was just a coincidence, or bad timing, or some other nonsense.
All right.
Maybe I just had a bad day.
Maybe it was genetic. Just coincidence? No, I think it had something to do with Toko and that one kid. And then that other kid, they're probably both dead.
Maybe living in a repressed modern society caused an unexpected reaction to bubble up. And maybe that reaction just so happened to be me.
That's believable.
And since it was a reaction to that repressed society, my personality became the total opposite of that. The other me is a total downer, right? So that would make me...
Methamphetamines?
Well, what do you think? Quiz time! Hope you've been brushing up on your Japanese!
Masaka!
Did the boot heel of passion just kick down the back door to your brain? What the hell does that even mean?
The opposite of a downer. I guess it would have to be...
Genki, right?
Yes, of course. It's Genki, Daro.
Ding, 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 ding! As a response to that emotional black hole, an energetic supernova was born.
Genki Dama! Well, anyway.
She just wants to read her stuffy classics all day.
Yeah, because they're good!
But give me a good erotic thriller, and I'm Zen.
But that's what she writes!
Anyway, we're not all that special. Anyone can have that kind of weird reaction, you know.
That kind of weird reaction?
I mean, hell, the human mind itself is basically its own split personality.
That's completely true. The left hemisphere and the right hemisphere, normally they're connected, so there's no problem. But as it turns out, if for some reason you have some sort of an injury that severs the connection between your left and right hemispheres, each side does have its own personality.
They do function different.
Yeah, and so presumably that means they each have their own consciousness. It's
kind of.
I'm not.
Maybe
it's something like that. I'm not like really familiar with it, but I remember reading about that and being like, "Oh, that's fascinating." Or I should say, "Wait, no, that's."
No, it's true. Why else would headlines be filled with stories of murder, theft, fraud, and all that crap? To turn away from that truth is to turn the aggressor into the victim. So why do it? Embrace it and indulge your consciousness the way you've always wanted to. I'm not as twisted as you might think. You and me both gaze at the same horizon, don't we?
It's like this is a very much part of a fundamental view of the world, I suppose. As in, like, what is the truth of human nature? Is human nature basically good? Is human nature basically bad? Is it okay to just
give in to your desires?
Yeah,
you know?
to completely indulge yourself? This whole thing is a mess. I'm not going to talk about my opinions on any of that. This doesn't make any kind of sense at all. But it's my own fault for thinking I could ever understand whatever this is.
Seem to be totally lacking Genki, so let me give you some words of wisdom to lift your spirits.
Ai, Genki ne desu.
Even a monkey can fall out of a tree, hit his head, slip into a coma, and die.
So even a monkey can fall out of a tree is actually like a saying.
I know, but I do remember that, but I don't think the rest of that was actually part of the saying.
That, yeah. That was the first kotowaza that I learned. Well, I have fallen out of a tree, hit my head, slipped into a coma, and died. Here, take this vibrator.
Oh my, it's so wonderful. Can I lick it?
Be my guest!
When you get something this nice, don't you just love to lick it? Or is that just me with the 3-foot-long tongue? Makoko Chanel, this is the last time you'll get a chance to party with yours truly. I only get 3 of them. So if there's anything you've been wanting to...
You just are... Oh my gosh!
Look at the characters you people give me! So if there's anything you've been waiting to blow me away with, better pull the trigger right now.
That's a very kind offer, but nothing comes to mind.
Really? Nothing at all? Then just sit back and enjoy.
What are you gonna do?
I'm going to confess my feelings to you. My feelings for Master.
Just what I wanted. To sit here and be lectured by a serial killer about how much she loves Byakuya. Do I really have to be here for this?
To be honest, this is the first time I've ever had feelings for someone, but not wanted to kill them.
Really?
Up until now, whenever I fell for a boy, that boy fell for my scissors. My first love chased him all the way to Shikoku to kill him.
Okay, of the two of us who are surprised by this, let us raise our hands.
I don't see any hands up. How strange. But Master's something special. It's not about killing or not killing. It's not that physical connection.
I wonder if this is what Toko meant when she said I had a chance to talk to him later.
Oh, God. My feelings are totally pure this time. Yeah, it's pure love.
You probably should have picked somebody other than Byakuya, I'm just saying. Because otherwise, the sorts of experiences you've had thus far are going to lead to Byakuya becoming a corpse at this rate. I'm not sure I'm convinced.
Yeah, my chest is all tight and tingly. I've seriously never felt this way before.
Do not look at me and say those words.
I wouldn't even mind not killing any other boys if it meant I could be with him.
Byakuya, come here! Byakuya, where are you? Byakuya, I have some really important stuff to talk about. You know how you're a person...
Leave me out of this.
Byakuya, you're a person charged with many duties and responsibilities. Byakuya, come on, where are you? Is he in that washing machine? Byakuya, you have many lives to save. Only you as a Togami can do it. Byakuya! Byakuya!
Of course, it would be unbelievably rude to cheat on Master like that.
In that case, Makoto agrees!
What? Seriously? Are you going to become our Cupid?
I tried my best a moment ago. I shall try harder henceforth. If it means you'll stop freaking killing people, I'll do my part, whatever I can, whatever it takes.
My little Macarena, I've seriously misjudged you. You're actually a really good guy.
But if we're gonna work together on this, we gotta wait till things here calm down.
That is messed up.
So, until then, don't
kill anyone. Yeah, I know. But in exchange, I'll be counting on you when we get out of here. Let's do this! Hoo-ah!
Sounds good! It kind of sucks for Byakuya, but...
I hate all of you.
Who really cares? He was always a jerk anyway. I'm glad I was able to understand Genocide Jill a little better. Not that I could ever call her a friend, of course, but I think we sort of got a happy ending. I mean, she's a literal serial killer.
Strangers in a brain.
Unless Byakuya takes one for the whole world. It's his duty.
I'm considering my options. Suicide seems pretty good.
Is this why you got fat, Byakuya?
I don't want to talk about it.